like J.Brock, cause I can score with a second on the clock.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy J.Brock. It's Clapitup LA. You know what I'm saying? And I'm right here with Eastside K-Boy, our favorite Eastside homie, the Eastside hero, and the Eastiest of them all. Eastside K-Boy is ambidextrous when it comes to his artistry and music. For this reason, he considers himself the R&B thug. And when it comes to his walks, he's top 3. But he ain't number 3. Eastside K-Boy is a creative director for Shaka Wear, where he's used his impact to help others get billboards and created Shaka Styles, a performing platform for artists to perform their songs. He is the creative Brew Rose, so be on the lookout for what's to come with that. And you already know we got to give a huge shout out to Yellow Rose. Eastside K-Boy's job is to provide for his family and be an inspiration to his section. And by the way, tell me something that I don't know. Trying to make it last like a photo. Gotta be the nigga that you call on. Riding around the block, getting my ball on. Make sure y'all go and run that pressure up. His latest single is hot. Let's get it. Eastside K-Boy.
What's up, my guy?
How you feeling, man?
I'm good, bro.
Man, and you know what? It's a blessing to be sitting right here with you from the first day we met. I remember talking to you about when I watched the interview with you and T-Real. I had already been hearing your name, but listening to your story right there, it just meant, it showed me his hope. Having an OG like you, doing the things that you've done, being the help that you've been, it's like you speaking those words, it's young dudes looking up to you. And to see Eastside K-Boy speaking of positivity and bringing the knowledge, like you said, being a real big homie, because you say that term is used very loosely nowadays. Getting on there and every time you can, being a real big homie, we got to give a shout out to that, man. I appreciate you, Eastside K-Boy. Now, you had an opinion on this new blue check thing that's going on IG. K-Boy said, look, man, I want to just take mine off and put Crip next to it. K-Boy, how you feel about that, man?
That's funny. Me and Pooh just talking about that right now on our way over here.
Shout out, Pooh.
I understand it, right?
Yeah.
Like for, I wouldn't even say business purposes. I understand it to where, you know, it's a lot of fake pages going around, right? So you want your page to be substantial to know that this is really you. But on the flip side, I'll say, what about the people that did a lot of hard work like myself, all these big top people in the industry, these big corporations, these big companies? What about them? Like, it used to be a privilege. It should be a privilege.
Facts.
You know what I mean? To have that. Because if everybody has a blue check and it's saturated with a blue check, it's like, what's the purpose of it now? It's like, that should just look like it's just watered down. It's like, oh, anybody. I'm not saying nobody's not anybody in their own right.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you got 100 followers and you got a blue check and you're not really even doing nothing, you're not even having no business, you're not promoting anything, you're not giving no motivation to anything, you just wanted the blue check, you got 100 followers. What? A dude just did it to me the other day, right? He said, hey, let's work, bro. Now it make it easy for a nigga to think he could just jump in my DM and be like, hey, let's work. He got a blue check, but he had 400 followers, my man. And he had like 3 likes. Come on, bro. That's
okay, so when somebody tap in with you, when they speaking to you like, let's work, do you typically look on their page and, you know, try to see what they working with, you know what I'm saying, first and foremost?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll try to see, you know, what the music is like, what they doing, what type of person they are. Because you really, all we can get is what they post. Because we don't know them like that personally, so I can only get off what you post. So I usually do that, and I try to tell them. I learned from this dude named Cloth. That's the homie from New Jersey. He the president of 1501.
Okay.
He said it's etiquette in this, how you ask somebody a question on social media. That less work shit will make a nigga just look at it and don't even read it or respond or anything.
Facts.
You don't know me from a can of paint. You don't tell me let's work. You got to proper introduce yourself. You should be like, hey, I'm Joe Blow from Wooty Whoop. I've been watching you, man. You're inspiration for me. I was wondering, you know, can I do a record with you? You know, how much you charge for a verse or a hook or anything. It's a proper way that you got to do things. Niggas just think they could just jump because of social media, jumping your shit. Like, you know, a lot of niggas think because, you know, I'm Crip orientated, they feel like they could just jump in like, hey, cuz, what's up, bro?
Yeah, saying anything.
What's up, cuz, nigga? Let's do something. I'm like, that shit don't even move me like that.
Yeah. You're not there anymore. You on a different level.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's another thing I've learned too. Like social media is one thing, but building a relationships really requires you to be in, you know what I'm saying, on the outside. You got to be outside to really build a relationship because people want to know, people really want to get a feel for you. Social media only shows you so much. How many times would you say that you kind of gave into any social media interaction and then when you finally got face to face, you kind of like,
No, that's like 90% of the time. Social media, we only post our highlights.
That's a fact.
It's a highlight reel.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? Everybody gonna post the dope dinners, the best outfits, the best moments in your relationship. You know what I mean? You know, it's a few people that get on there and try to vent a little bit. You know what I mean? I find myself doing that sometimes too because that's where the whole world is and that's where everybody is engaged. But majority of it is it's your highlight reel. You gonna post your money when you got it. Ain't nobody gonna really post when they living out their car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody gonna post when they can't eat, when they don't have no food for a month. Nobody's gonna post those things. So social media is really just a highlight reel. And anybody can be anything that they want to be on social media. You could just put that in your bio and you that. Everybody's a CEO in their bio or something. I ain't mad at nobody trying to be an entrepreneur, but let's just be real. Everybody's not a CEO.
Yeah, that's
Everybody's
a fact.
not meant to be a boss. Everybody's not meant to be a leader. So, but you could do what you want to do. I don't knock nobody though. To each his own. It's all good with me.
That's a fact. And speaking on not knocking nobody, one of the things you said, you stop calling people whack and trash because it's something for everybody. Here's something I get frustrated with. When people get to talking about, and I'm talking about people in L.A., oh, L.A. music is trash, the scene is trash. To me, I feel like it's way too many artists that you niggas ain't heard to be calling the whole scene trash. How can you call a whole entire, that's like calling every black person a bad person or a criminal. You can't do that.
Facts.
So when did you learn that, you know what, let me just sit back and accept the fact that it's good music, and even if I don't like it, don't mean that it's still not good music?
It's generational. I got kids. So my sons are 16, they twins, they about to be 17. Well, they put me up on shit that I don't know about. So when I start hearing the music and seeing what they like, it's like, you know what, how can I get mad at them? It's generational. You feel me? Like, of course I'm not listening to that because I'm not 16 years old. And of course they're not listening to what I'm listening to because I was raised by a whole different generation of music. So I was just like, it is something for everybody. So I don't even, like I said, I don't call nobody whack no more. It's just not for me. Just like it's somebody, for everybody out there.
That's a fact.
People
that's
be looking at odd couples and all that. So he'd be like, hey, somebody like that person.
Yeah, facts.
And everybody's not going to like your music anyway. Like, everybody don't like Jay-Z. Everybody don't like Snoop Dogg. Everybody don't like 50. Everybody don't like Ja. Everybody don't like K-Boy. But the people that do, that's who you care about. That's who you should cater to with your music, with your brand, with anything. So I'm more focused on fucking with who fuck with me and catering to my demographic. So, you know, like I said before, to each his own. You know, I shout out to everybody trying to do something. And to me, it's like, even if it's not for me, I figure this little nigga out here doing music, and he could be on the block selling dope. He could be out robbing people, but instead he took that and he took his creativity and he took that passion into the studio, whether I like it or not. So.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. It's something out there for everybody. And like he said, sometimes it's just better to say it ain't for me. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, just because it ain't for you don't mean it ain't for the world. That's something I got a problem with. LA music is on the rise. Whether you see it or not, we working. And we going to keep working. Let's go. So let me ask you this. What is your opinion on LA music?
I like LA music. I just feel like we got to be more unified, honestly. It's the same thing. Like, most of these niggas claim they from the streets, right? So, shit, we all from different neighborhoods. We don't even like everybody from our own neighborhood. So, at the end of the day, I feel like you don't got to be buddy-buddy. You ain't got to be singing Kumbaya in a circle with nobody, but we should all respect each other, and we all got the same common goal. That's to be the best that we could be in this music industry and change our livelihood with our families. So, if we got the same common goal, we should do the same thing. Everybody should have a record with each other out here. It shouldn't be like, oh, no, you ain't that. Anybody that's popping should have a record with each other. And then we should uplift the young niggas that's coming up underneath us. That's how I feel. But other than that, I like how it's sounding. We got our own sound. And to me, if you from LA, you should sound like you from LA.
Facts.
I'm not saying that we should do the dated, some of the music that they say. I hate when somebody say you too West Coast. That shit is trash.
That's bullshit, yeah.
Like, I'm from LA. I shouldn't be sounding like I'm from Memphis if I'm from Los Angeles. I should be talking about Los Angeles things. I should be doing that. That's cool to be, talented
versatile,
and you know, and diversify your style, right? And I should be able to rap to Atlanta beat, a Memphis beat, a trap beat, R&B beat. That's cool because I'm an artist. Yeah, you got to be versatile, but the mecca of my sound should be from where I'm from. That's just my personal opinion, because I never heard nobody say, "Hey, my nigga, y'all sound too New Yorkers." Or y'all sound too down south. Y'all sound too Atlanta. Like, they just let them do their thing. But the majority of people that say you sound too West Coast, it's niggas from the West Coast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't. Whack. It's like you don't. We get so much friendly fire. We get so much friendly fire. Okay, but how do you deal with a situation? Because quite naturally, you already know everybody ain't gonna just like everybody. You feel me? You're not gonna just get along with everybody. But how do you get over that factor in order to come together to work? Because ultimately, it takes stuff like that to change your ego, to change your pride for shit to work. Even if you just naturally kind of can't connect with somebody.
I mean, if we already doing it right now, like, we got the biggest gang culture, right? And I feel like everybody see each other, and we all supposed to be supposedly ops, and we see each other all the time out in public. Why we can't do a record? Now, I understand people's, you know, close-knit rivals. I understand that. When it's too close to home, your locals, that's what we call them, your locals. I understand that the gangbang politics, but if it's a Compton Power Rule, I'm going to do a song with it. If it's a West Side blood, I'm going to do a song with it. I even do a song with somebody from the East Side, too. That's a blood. It just all depend on the dynamics. I mean, if we, like I said, if we both doing the same thing, we got the same common goal, we should be able to do that. So that part is kind of been good for a long time, with Crips and Bloods doing records with each other, but we so egotistical out here, and I get it, you know. I'm kind of like that myself sometimes too, but I'm telling you, if we come together, do records with each other, we have our own mood, we have our own lane, we don't have to worry about the rest of the world. I mean, I fuck with the rest of the world, I fuck with all the sounds, but they don't give a fuck about us like that, realistically. They doing what they doing. We know every person in Atlanta does not fuck with each other on a personal level. But they see the bigger picture. Same thing in Texas, same thing in Miami. They see the bigger picture. Even the New York niggas, the old New York niggas know that we could still do boom bap, but we finna ride the wave of this New York drill and whatever else the youngsters doing. They're embracing it. We don't embrace each other out here, fool, and that shit whack.
And see, you can always speak on opposite sides coming together, because shout out to Eastside K-Boy. I mean, from Mixed Nuts meeting Thundercat, you feel me, to VIP music on Slauson and Crenshaw, to tapping in with Big U, getting Nipsey and Joe Moses on a song together. How accomplished do you feel, and what type of purpose does that put in your spirit when you think about the things that you've done to unite the streets?
I love it. I feel like I'm here for a reason, you know, especially after being shot. So I know my purpose is way bigger than just being a Crip. And I'm way more than that anyway. And that's the perception and the narrative that I'm changing right now. You know what I mean? I'm a father before anything. I'm a daddy 90% of the daytime.
90% of the daytime. What other 10% at?
Like, you know, no, I'm just saying, like,
okay.
I gotta be the K-Boy. I gotta be the rapper.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but majority of my shit is I'm a father, fool. So that's what I'm doing. I went off subject.
No, you good. You good.
You told me, you was asking about how accomplished I feel. I feel good. I do feel good about being able to do that, though, and being a street nigga, know that I can connect people. I'm starting to see people try to take advantage of me of that, too. Like, they only want to use me for street clout and, because I'm good in most sections. I'm damn near good in damn near every section.
So how does that make you feel when you know, okay, how do you catch on to somebody trying to take advantage of that, though? What type of behavior is that?
When we know we supposed to be doing some type of business or musical thing, but you just so infatuated about being in somebody's hood. Okay. Or meeting somebody that's from somewhere. And we never really get to the business point. It took a while for me to notice that. But it's cool. You know, I'd rather be used than not used at all.
You know what? But there's a difference. You know, and shout out to Chrissy B, shout out to Chuck Dizzle. They spoke on this, being used versus being taken advantage of, and that does not feel good. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, and I get it. You feel me? I get it. Sometimes you want to use people, but do it in the right way. Don't use them in the wrong way, because that shit will come back around. Now we got to talk about this, man. Pop Warner football. Y'all see the ring? He got this Norbon ring on his hand. I went to Crenshaw. I only lost to Norbon one time. But we got to speak on this, man. You played DB. You feel me? Pop Warner. Who did you play Pop Warner for?
The Hawthorne Cougars.
The Hawthorne Cougars. We never seen them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Eastside demos in the house. Then he went to Norbonne, and you had a situation with shout out to D-Jack, Deshaun Jackson. If you ask me, he might be a Hall of Famer. Take us through K-Boy coming out that huddle and lining up against a young D-Jack, man.
It was you know,
Long Beach was hot too.
I shut everybody down. First off, Polly was talking about they was gonna shut us out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They was gonna blow us out.
Yeah.
So we didn't take that lightly. You know what I mean? I went to Norbonne when the first year when we started winning the championship. You know what I mean? The first championship Norbonne won. Yeah. I was a part of that team, and then Norbonne became this big powerhouse where they was winning the championship every year.
Yeah, not my years though.
So lining up on D-Jack, they told me, they're like, bro, play 7 yards off. I'm like, no. Man, they called me the locksmith in high school. I'm like, I'm finna lock him up. I'm like, he ain't no different. Yeah. Yeah. We go, ball hike, cool. I'm like, man, he ain't even that fast. The ball in the air, I'm like, oh, I'm finna get another pick. Yeah. I must have looked. That nigga was about like 10 yards ahead of me. Nigga, touchdown. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to D-Jack. I mean, if it's
That's
gonna
my
happen,
nigga too, to this day, D-Jack. Shout out to Jackpot.
Shout out to bro, because if it's gonna happen against anybody, at least it was D-Jack. Now, we gotta talk about, I know you doing your fitness thing. I wanna ask you how much of I know you're getting back into the groove of it, but how much of fitness helps you out with your daily process and even your feelings? Because exercising does that for us. It helps us mentally, spiritually, emotionally. How does that do it for you?
Yeah, it make you feel good. And they give you a lot of time to reflect, you know what I mean, on whatever you got going on. So I use it to get myself back mentally strong, physically, of course, but then spiritually too. Like, it's just a feel-good situation. Like, that's like a source of therapy. Yeah, if you want to look at it. Like, besides getting to look good and getting fit, it's a source of therapy too. Yeah. And it just make you feel good after you work out. You know, niggas want to take pictures. We feel like, nigga, one day in the gym, we buff as a motherfucker. And I've been showing those think I'm buff pictures for the last 4 days.
Yeah, I seen he got a picture reflex in the chest. You know what I'm saying? I've been working on my summer body for 3 years. Don't let that go over your head. You know what I'm saying? This fitness shit is something real. Stick with it.
Nah,
and you
but
can
we
do
need
it.
this though, because we all getting older out here, and you know, it's cliche, but health is wealth. So you know, you just got to get back right. Yeah.
So how's the eating?
The eating is cool too. It is a lot on your nutrition too, but the eating is cool too. It all depends on your body. Honestly, I'm not finna sit up here like I'm a nutritionist. Yeah. I'm a fucking fitness trainer. Yeah. You know what I mean? And none of that. But everybody's body is different. I know a homie that eat anything he want, my nigga, and that nigga look like a G.I. Joe action figure. Yeah. And he eats horrible.
Good genetics.
But you know, the nigga metabolism is like a 5-year-old. So
yeah, that's crazy.
It all depends on your body. So you got to figure out what's good for you and your body. That's all it is.
Nah, that's a fact, man. Stick to it. The most important thing is to stay consistent. Now, from Papa Don to K-Boy to Prince, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to your uncle Ray Mack, who taught you how to write a 16, and you took one of his songs and rapped it and told everybody it was yours. Now, I want to ask you, how often does that memory of him helping you make a song play back in your head? Because you in the studio, you getting it in, and I feel like we all have a memory that we just don't forget. It's something that we just hold on to. How often does that moment replay back in your head?
All the time. Because I be wishing he was here. Because I feel like I would have been well off if he was still here.
I would have made it, huh?
No, for sure. Because he was supposed to have a meeting, I think, with Warren G. I always get that mixed up. I got to ask my mom, but I think it was Warren G. The next day, he was supposed to have that meeting with him the next day, but he never made it because he got killed. But nah, I think we'd have been well off.
So Uncle Ray Mack, you know what I'm saying? It was a song that you rapped, and I said, oh, he was really barring it up. Now, Eastside K-Boy is considered the R&B thug. He is the LL Cool J of gangster rap. At least that was the goal. Now, speak on LL. There's one song I remember about LL Cool J. It's that "Who Do You Love? Are You For Sure?"
It's called Lounging.
Yeah, Lounging. Yeah, my dumb ass. Anyway, my stepdad had a Camaro. He used to bang this song. I was probably about 5, 6 years old, but it just always felt like a vibe. You feel what I'm saying? And also, shout out to that. It's a song Kevin Hicks had on his highlight tape. That song go crazy. What's your favorite song by LL Cool J?
Lounging is one of them, and doing it well.
Yeah, doing it well. Yeah, you get hey man, that right there is unbeatable. Ain't nobody made a better R&B song than that one, at least in that class.
But the top 3 is Lounging, Doing It Well, and Hey Lover.
Hey Lover, that's a good one. That's a good one. And even with the texture of your music, how often do you listen to LL Cool J today?
I don't listen to him a lot, but it's funny. I was just listening to Lounging the other day, just seeing where he was, because you know the evolution of LL. You know he can rap his ass off realistically,
facts,
and rap you underneath the table, and a cold battle rapper. But once he made I Need Love, it changed the whole dynamic. So I get when niggas switch it up a little bit. It's like, okay, I can rap. It was cool. You know what I mean? They was fucking with him, but when he made I Need Love. You know, his name already stood for he was with the ladies anyway, but when he made I Need Love, that's when he was like, oh, yeah, I got to stick in this lane.
Yeah. And it's crazy.
It worked.
Yeah, it's crazy because he's still well respected as a gangster rapper, too. You know what I'm saying?
He can rap his ass off. Yeah. Don't get LL fucked up. He can rap his ass off.
Yeah, he can rap his ass off.
Like a lot of niggas don't know, like Dirt.
Yeah.
Like Dirt went to the melodic and blew up. Yeah. Like he started with the whole Chief Keef and all that, trying to rap like that, being from Chicago, but that shit didn't work. When that nigga started doing that melodic shit, he took off. He just started doing the melodic shit and doing it, telling you gangster shit melodically. Then he became a nigga where the people want him to be featured on their biggest love songs.
Yeah, facts. So, yeah, I caught on to Lil Durk a little late, man. I just refused to pay attention to him for so long.
Women are the number one consumers.
Yeah.
My nigga, bro. Remember that. It's cool, but, you know, my manager tell me all the time, like, who we doing it for? We doing it for the niggas on the block? Are we doing it for the niggas?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird when you think about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, they the number one consumers. They gonna come support. They gonna buy the tickets. They gonna help you sell out the shows. And back in the day, they wanted to cut your picture out and post it on the wall.
Man, and speaking of that, one of the things that you spoke about is, you know, like nowadays it's kind of a whole lot of women bashing. You feel me? But one of the things that you speak on, man, love your woman. You feel me? When the homies ain't there for you, that woman gonna always be there for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing. That's one of the things I mess with because, man, I don't care what you say. I don't want no man loving me like a woman should. You feel what I'm saying? When I go home, I want to go home to my woman. She rub me down, all that good stuff. So shout out to all the women out there, man. Now, here's a walk down Central with Terry Roden. You know what I'm saying? You grew up in a historically rich area. I mean, the Black Panthers, Dunbar Apartments, Billie Holiday. When y'all did that, a walk down Central, how many stories did you hear that touched you and furthered your knowledge from what you had already known? How many times were you surprised that day?
Oh, that was dope. When me and Terry did that, shout out to my homie Terry Roden. That's the homie from the set. He doing a lot of big things right now with all his stores and everything. But we was talking to like the Slauson boys, the businessmen, and I was like, damn, they was just giving a lot of historical knowledge and giving us the reason why black people was on that side. Like, people thought South Central was just South Central, the name of the city, but it was south of Central.
South of Central.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they did that to segregate, to leave the black people on that side of town. That's why it's called South Central. All the blacks was South of Central. So that's why you get the Jazz Festival on Central Avenue. That's why everything was cracking right there. The Black Panthers on 41st and Central was all right there. So I always tell people that, like, before the Lamert Park and all that, shout out to that, but it was Central Avenue.
So you grew up having just a different respect for Lamert Park, so to speak? Because when you know your history, you kind of like, I mean, well, that's cool, but this right here is it.
Nah, it's not even different. I love it. It's just my story doesn't get the light shed on it or exposed the way it's supposed to be. And I don't know everything from it. I just did my research and talked to my big homies that give me the game. You got to know where you from. A lot of niggas don't even know why they bang. They don't even know why they beef with certain other hoods. They don't know none of that. They don't know the history of their hood. They probably don't even know when their hood started. I know all that. I feel like I'm in it. I should know the real reasons. You know what I mean? So I think it enlighten you once you learn about your history of it, and I think you'll take a little bit more pride in a positive way than the one to go slide on something all the time.
So it'll change it's changed your perspective in so many different ways. How do you feel about when this term Eastie, right? How do you process Eastie? You know what is crazy? We've been interviewing a lot of people from the East Side as of recently. I swear it to you. Now, everybody has their different perspective and different answer for what it is to be Eastie. What is your definition of that?
I love being Eastie. I feel like we different. I feel like we just outgoing. We different. You know what I mean? We different. Everybody be like, you know, back then it was a bad notion of being Eastie, especially when you call a girl Eastie.
No,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
That mean like you,
that's not good.
That means she was fucked up, ratchet, crazy color hair probably and all that and that.
Yeah.
But nah, man, I love being Eastie. I love being different.
Yeah.
I love being from the most grittiest side of town, but the most historical side of town as well too. So I love being Eastie.
Yeah, that's dope. And like Snoop say, you can't spell the West without the ES.
And sometimes, you know, just on some crazy shit, it's good not giving a fuck. So I love being Eastie sometimes, not giving a fuck.
Okay, how do you possess that character? A lot of people can't. A lot of people don't know how not to care. So how do you grow that?
Yeah, it's a time thing. Everybody say they don't care and they don't give a fuck and then have a problem with something.
Yeah, I know that's cap. Yeah, I just believe that's cap.
I know people right now, they be like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck about nothing.
Yeah.
But then when something happen, they give a fuck about it. Because if you really don't give a fuck about nothing, nothing should bother you.
At all.
If I say something to you right now that's negative, that shit's supposed to just bounce off. But if you have a rebuttal or reply, or you be like, nigga, why you say that? That mean you give a fuck about what I just said.
That's a fact.
But people just be saying shit, just say shit. I think sometimes people just like to hear they self-talk, and it's all good.
That's a fact. And then, you know, we live in this day and age where if you don't say something, if you don't say something, you look like a punk. If you do say something, you look like a punk. It's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't.
It's a catch-20.
You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. That's a fact. How do you deal with a situation like that, though? You know, and not care about what other people say? Because, okay, say somebody go at somebody on Instagram, they in the comments going up. How do you deal with that situation and be carefree about it?
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
No, for real, I'm still learning on that. I was big on caring, giving a fuck about what somebody cared about what they thought of me. But now I don't give a fuck. It's like this new shit out on Instagram. I ain't cleaning up shit. Whatever you think, you think. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm not clearing up shit.
How do you find peace in that, though? Because, I mean, shit, I would hate for somebody to think some shit about me that ain't real.
You right,
but
guess what? When you doing bad, they got something to say about you.
That's a fact.
When you doing good, they got something to say about you.
That's a fact.
So, I mean, they always going to have something to say about you. So, fuck it. No matter what. If I'm doing something negative or positive, somebody going to say something. Nigga doing some bullshit in the streets, oh, man, that shit's stupid. In my position of doing music and being a father and, you know what I mean, hopefully one day be somebody's husband, if I fucking take myself off the streets, then I'm stupid. Yeah, oh, that nigga dumb. Cause why that nigga do that, man? That nigga just fucked up his whole life. Yeah. But if I didn't do that, then it was like, oh, that nigga's a buster. So it's like how you said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So it's like, my nigga, fuck it. Yeah. Stop caring what people think. Because it's really just an opinion.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? There's only 3 things that nobody never gonna say about me and I would hate is niggas. Only 3 things you can come back as a man in on motherfucking the streets. Telling on somebody snitching. Shout out to the community, but being that way. You know what I mean? Dealing with the same sex.
Yeah.
And fucking with a child.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Them 3 things, no.
Yeah, you can't bounce back from that.
Yeah, and I'm not a part of none of them at all. So, other than that, I don't care. So, them 3 things I know that I'm going to be a part of. I don't care what you think about me for.
Yeah. You just going to do you at the end of the day. Self-peace is the best peace.